कि हमारे मध्यम वर्ग, वह मध्यम वर्ग जिसका सबसे बड़ा जिम्मा होता है कि देश को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए, वह अपने दायित्व के साथ साथ सामाजिक कार्यक्रमों में भी भाग लेकर के वह देश को आगे बढ़ाने का काम करता है, उसके लिए बहुत बड़ा तोहफा मिला है। हमको ध्यान है कि 2014 में इनकम टैक्स की छूट 2,50,000 थी, उसके बाद 19 में 5 लाख, 23 में 7 लाख। लोग उम्मीद कर रहे थे कि यह इनकम टैक्स का एग्जेम्पशन छूट 7 लाख है तो जरूर मोदी जी इसको 9-10 लाख कर देंगे, ऐसा लोग सोच रहे थे। लेकिन वित्त मंत्री जी ने जब बजट पढ़ा तो उन्होंने जैसे ही 12 लाख की घोषणा की, संसद के अंदर 5 मिनट तक तालियां बजती रही। आप सभी को अभिनंदन और देशवासियों को अभिनंदन, क्योंकि इससे 1,00,000-2 लाख नहीं, करोड़ों लोगों को इससे लाभ मिलने वाला है। वह मिडिल इनकम ग्रुप जो हमारे देश की अर्थव्यवस्था का बैकबोन है, उसको इतना बड़ा तोहफा मिला है, इसलिए बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन। मैं बहुत लंबी बात नहीं करूंगा, लेकिन इतना कुछ चीजें जरूर आपके सामने कहूंगा। आज देश की परिस्थिति बदली है। 2014 से पहले, एक डिकेड पहले, हम फ्रेजाइल कंट्रीज में आते थे, फ्रेजाइल नेशन, पॉलिसी पैरालिसिस, कोई निर्णय न लेना ही निर्णय माना जाता, मतलब स्थिति ठीक नहीं थी। कई संस्थाएं, चाहे पी रिसर्च हो, वो चाहे इकोनॉमिस्ट थे, देश के बारे में कुछ लिखते थे कि भाई नहीं, यहाँ कुछ नहीं हो सकता। लेकिन आज की स्थिति बदली है। आज हम 10वीं अर्थव्यवस्था से 5वीं अर्थव्यवस्था बन गए हैं और 2027 तक तीसरी अर्थव्यवस्था बनेंगे। जर्मनी और जापान को भारत छोड़ करके आगे निकल जाएगा। इस दिशा में आगे हम बढ़ रहे हैं। यह इस बात से प्रमाणित होता है कि बहुत सारे कंट्री, मेक्सिको, रशिया, बहुत सारे कंट्रीज, आप कंट्रीज का जीडीपी देखिए। भारत एक ऐसा मात्र देश है जो पिछले 3 सालों से लगातार 3 सालों से सर्वाधिक गति से जीडीपी है चल रही है। पिछले 3 सालों से वो भारत की है और किसी देश की नहीं है, लगातार 3 साल से। चाइना की 5% है, मेक्सिको की 2.5% है, ये IMF का रिकॉर्ड है। लेकिन हमारी जीडीपी हाईएस्ट है 7% के आसपास। इसलिए हम इस बात को कह रहे हैं, और यह इसलिए संभव हो रहा है क्योंकि सरकार की पॉलिसी, जो गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसीज है, गवर्नमेंट की सोच है, वह मिनिमम गवर्नमेंट, मैक्सिमम ट्रस्ट बेस्ड गवर्नमेंट। आज एक बहुत बढ़िया शब्द का उपयोग आया है। पहले मैक्सिमम गवर्नेंस की बात होती थी, मिनिमम गवर्नमेंट, मैक्सिमम गवर्नेंस। सरकार का काम बहुत चीजों में इन्वॉल्व होना नहीं है, इसे मिनिमम गवर्नमेंट। आज एक नया शब्द है कि ट्रस्ट बेस्ड गवर्नेंस, और यह इस बात से साबित होता है कि आपको मैं देखिए, देश भर में पिछले एक डिकेड में 40,000 कंप्लायंसेस समाप्त हुए। 40,000 जो कंप्लायंसेस वह समाप्त हुए। 3,500 से अधिक ऐसे सेक्शन थे जो व्यापार करते उसको डीक्रिमिनलाइजेशन करने का काम हुआ, और बहुत सारे से ऐसे एक्ट थे जिनको जो रिडंडेंट थे, जिनको कोई उपयोगिता नहीं थी, उसको स्क्रैप कर दिया गया। वहाँ निर्मला सीतारमण जी ने एक बात को बजट में जरूर कहा है कि हमारे जो स्कीम थी विवाद से विश्वास, यह 2023 की थी। 2023 में हमने जब लोगों से लोगों के सुझाव आए, उस सुझाव के आधार पे जन विश्वास 2023 का जो एक्ट बना करके, उसमें से उस समय जो है 180 ऐसे सेक्शन थे जो जन विश्वास एक्ट 2023 के माध्यम से उनको डीक्रिमिनलाइजेशन किया गया। मतलब किसी को डरने की जरूरत नहीं है, आपको क्रिमिनल एक्ट के अंतर्गत कोई अरेस्ट नहीं कर सकता, कोई कार्रवाई नहीं हो सकती। लेकिन आज इसलिए भी हम सरकार को बधाई देना चाहते हैं कि 180 जो हमारे एक्ट्स थे, लीगल प्रोविजंस थे, उसको डीक्रिमिनलाइजेशन पहले किया गया था। आज ये घोषणा की गई है कि सरकार यहां भी नहीं रुकेगी। जिसके भी जो सजेशन आ रहा है, अगले 10 साल के अंदर जन विश्वास बिल अभी ले आएंगे 2.0, और अगले 10 सालों के अंदर 100 से अधिक ऐसे सेक्शन होंगे, उनको भी डीक्रिमिनलाइजेशन करने का काम यह करेंगे, मतलब जिससे आदमी चैन से रहे। यह होता है कि लोगों पे विश्वास इस प्रकार से। और एमएसएमई के लिए, एमएसएमई हमारे अर्थव्यवस्था की रीढ़ की हड्डी है। 45% अगर एक्सपोर्ट होता तो एमएसएमई के समय, इनको कोविड के समय भी इनको सपोर्ट किया गया। आज यह कहा गया कि एमएसएमई जो सेक्टर है उनको सरकार फर्दर 1.5 लाख करोड़ रुपए, 1.5 लाख करोड़ रुपए उनको बिल्कुल गारंटी फ्री उनको लोन प्रोवाइड करेगी, उसकी सरकार गारंटी लेगी, और जिससे कि वह अपने बिजनेस को आगे बढ़ा सकते हैं। पहले ही 5 लाख करोड़ रुपए का क्रेडिट गारंटी सरकार ने ले लिया था, आज यह अनाउंसमेंट हुआ कि 1.5 लाख। तो इसे सुनने में तो आपको लग रहा होगा, लेकिन ये छोटी सी बात है, ऐसा नहीं है। 1.5 लाख करोड़ रुपए का अगर क्रेडिट गारंटी अगर सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट लेती है, तो इससे एक नहीं, इसे हजारों एमएसएमई सेक्टर, उसमें लाखों के लाखों संख्या में जो एम्प्लॉयमेंट करने वाले लोग हैं, उनको इससे राहत मिलेगी। तो यह बहुत बड़ा निर्णय है। और अंत में मैं एक चीज अब आपको जरूर बताऊंगा कि किसी भी देश की अर्थव्यवस्था, उसको सही परखना हो, सही देखना हो, तो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात होती है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में सरकार कितना स्पेंड कर रही है। क्योंकि जब रेल नहीं होगा, रोड नहीं होगा, पोर्ट नहीं होगा, अगर उसमें बजट में पैसा नहीं आएगा, तो हम कैसे, देश की अर्थव्यवस्था कैसे चलेगी, उद्योग कैसे लगेगा, देश की जीडीपी कैसे बढ़ेगी, टैक्स कैसे आएगा, ये समस्या होती है। और उस दिशा में लगातार मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा कि सरकार की स्पेंडिंग लगातार बढ़ रही है। और 10 साल पहले जो सरकार 2.5 लाख करोड़ रुपए, 2.5 लाख करोड़ रुपए खर्च करती थी, वह उसके बाद 5 लाख, फिर 7 लाख। उस इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में सरकार के बजट को देखेंगे तो 25% बजट इस पे खर्च हो रहा है लगभग। अब सरकार उसमें 10,80,000 करोड़ रुपए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे खर्च कर रही है। इससे बड़ी बात क्या होगी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे। और इसी का नतीजा है कि आप सब सीए बैठे हैं कि ढेर सारे एयरपोर्ट पे आप जाते हैं कि नए नए एयरपोर्ट, पहले 74 एयरपोर्ट थे, अब 148 और एयरपोर्ट, और आगे ये कहा गया कि एयरपोर्ट की संख्या हम उड़ान स्कीम के माध्यम से और बढ़ाएंगे। नए नए हाईवेज, आप बंबई में रहते हो, दिल्ली में रहते हो, पुणे में रहते हो, वेयर एवर यू आर, आप देखते हो आए दिन नए एक्सप्रेसवे बन के चलने में सुविधा होती है। तब हमको बजट को उससे लिंक करिए। ये क्यों हो रहा है? क्योंकि बजट में सरकार प्रायोरिटी के आधार पे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को पैसा दे रही है, और टॉप प्रायोरिटी के आधार पे 25% से अधिक पैसा उस पर खर्च कर रही है। इसलिए हमको, आप वंदे भारत ट्रेन में चलते होंगे, मेट्रो में चलते होंगे, उस समय आपको कल्पना होना चाहिए कि ट्रेन की लाइनें भी बढ़ रही हैं। नए नए वंदे भारत से लेकर के नई नई ट्रेनें क्यों आ रही हैं? यह इसलिए देखने को मिलती है कि 400 वंदे भारत ट्रेन साहब चलेगी, एक से बढ़ के एक सुपरफास्ट, इसलिए क्योंकि सरकार 10,80,000 10,80 करोड़ रुपए स्पेंड कहां कर रही है? वह इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के लिए खर्च कर रही है, पोर्ट के लिए खर्च कर रही है, वह वाटरवेज के लिए खर्च कर रही है, वो देश की इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर। और इससे बड़ा क्या होगा, जहां मैं खड़ा हूं, इससे बड़ा क्या होगा कि ये यशो भूमि, यह इतना सुंदर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पहले नहीं था। और भारत मंडपम जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बना है, वो भी पूरी भारत का शान बढ़ा रहा है दुनिया में, जहां G20 का अभी सम्मेलन हुआ। तो बिना इन सब इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के तो हम यही कहते भाई अमेरिका में, जापान में जाके देखो, अब उस कैटेगरी के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर हमारे यहाँ डेवलप हो रहा है। तो उसी अगर आप देखेंगे तो इतना बड़ा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में पैसा रखा गया। एंड फोकस अगेन टू मैक्सिमम स्पेंडिंग इन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, बिकॉज इफ यू स्पेंड इन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर the amount will be rotated in 3 to 4 times, 3 से 4 गुना और रोटेशन होता है। और दिस इज व्हाट द गवर्नमेंट हैज डन इन द कोविड पीरियड आल्सो। कोविड में यही से हमारे सरकार ने किया, बाकी देशों में तो जेब में डाल दिया, इसलिए उनकी अर्थव्यवस्था गड़बड़ हुई। हमारी गवर्नमेंट ने whatever the money they spend in the infrastructure so that the rotation of money should go to 2 to 3 times, यह सरकार ने किया। तो अब इससे अधिक आपका समय मैं नहीं लूंगा। क्योंकि समय की भी थोड़ी मर्यादा है, बोलने को तो बहुत कुछ बोल सकते हैं, लेकिन मैं आप सबसे निवेदन नहीं करूंगा कि आप तो प्रोफेशन में आपका बहुत बड़ा, जहां भी है आप लोग का योगदान बड़ा है ही है। जीएसटी तो आपके बिना संभव नहीं हो सकती थी। देश की विकास गाथा में वो आपका बहुत बड़ा रोल है, रोल रहेगा। 2047 में 2047 में अगर विकसित भारत की संकल्प की ओर हम बढ़ रहे हैं, प्राप्त होगा, तो उसमें भी सबसे बड़ा योगदान किसी का होगा तो हमारे सीए मित्र, सीए दोस्तों का होने वाला है। यह मैं आपसे निवेदन करूंगा। और अंत में प्रोफेशन के साथ साथ एक जरूर मैं आपसे निवेदन करूंगा, और आप करते भी होंगे, कि जहां भी रहते हैं, अपनी नौकरी करते हैं या प्रैक्टिस करते हैं, लोगों को गाइडेंस देते हैं, जहां भी आप काम करें, और करते भी हैं सामाजिक क्षेत्र में, और समाज के लिए एक दो कार्य कभी न कभी गतिविधियों में, जैसे अभी एक पेड़ माँ के नाम हुआ, कभी स्वच्छता अभियान होगा, कभी गरीबों की मदद हो गया, कभी और किसी प्रकार का जन आंदोलन करना या अवेयरनेस कैंपेन करना हो, कभी न कभी थोड़ा सा आप लोग करते भी हैं। लेकिन मेरा आप सबसे निवेदन है कि सामाजिक कार्यक्रमों में जितना हो सके समाज की सेवा के लिए, राष्ट्र की सेवा कर भी रहे, समाज की सेवा के लिए थोड़ा सा अपना कंट्रीब्यूशन आप थोड़ा सा बढ़ा देंगे, मेरा निवेदन है आप सबसे। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपको। और यह इसलिए मैं कर रहा हूँ कि हमारे सीए प्रोफेशन के हमारे सेंट्रल काउंसिल मेंबर के लोग हैं। एक बार मैं आया था, कोविड का शायद उसको में कुछ समय था, हमने निवेदन किया कि क्या इस प्रकार का आप लोगों की मदद कर सकते हैं क्या। लोग हैरान रह गए कि अपनी जान की परवाह किए बिना सीए के हमारे मित्र रोड पे, सड़क पे निकले और लोगों की सेवा करने का काम किए। और इसलिए जिनसे अपेक्षा होती है उसी से निवेदन करते हैं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। फिर कभी मिलेंगे, चुनाव का समय चल रहा है। धन्यवाद।
सर, आपने अपनी जानकारी देकर और अपने अनमोल शब्दों से जो हमारा ज्ञान बढ़ाया है, हमारे ज्ञान चक्षु खोले हैं, उसके लिए हम आपके सदा आभारी रहेंगे। आपका बहुत 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 धन्यवाद। आप यहाँ आए, आपने समय निकाला, उसके लिए भी आपका बहुत धन्यवाद, तहे दिल से शुक्रिया। And now I would like to call Mr. Mangesh Kinare to come and deliver his vote of thanks. Sir.
Thank you, Arun Singh ji, for gracing this occasion and enlightening us about different provisions of budget. सर, आपने कहा कि आयकर की मर्यादा 12 लाख करने के बाद पार्लियामेंट में तालियां बजती रही। आपने नोटिस किया रहेगा, यहाँ भी बहुत तालियां बजी। और एक्चुअली चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट की रिटर्न्स जो फाइल करते हैं हम, उसकी संख्या कम होने वाली है, बट फिर भी चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट बहुत खुश है। इसका कारण यह है सर, entire chartered accountant fraternity is much more bothered, much more worried and much more concerned about the entire welfare of the society. And I think this feeling you will convey it to the right authorities in the right earnest. Thank you very much for gracing this occasion.
On that note, I would like to call both the dignitaries to come forward. Mr. Mangesh Kinare, sir, will be felicitating the giant in the house. None other than CA Mr. Arun Singh, Honorable Member of the Parliament, Rajya Sabha. Thank you so much. Bahut bahut dhanyawad, sir. Thank you so much. Ek anmol ratna gaya. And time to welcome another gem in the house, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to bring forth Shri Anand Mohanji, Deputy Comptroller and Auditor General Commercial. Sir, I welcome you. Oh my God, this is just not acceptable. Lovely. Thank you for doing the honors, sir.
Mr. Mangesh Kinare, distinguished delegates who have come from various accounting and auditing institutions globally, ladies and gentlemen, it is always a proud moment to go back and participate in a program of this scale, and particularly if it is organized by your alma mater, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. I will speak about the public financial management and how, as a Comptroller and Auditor General of India, this institution, what all it is doing to strengthen the public financial management. It is an important part of the overall governance, transparency and accountability of the executive. The public financial management, as a chartered accountant also, all of you must be aware, this involves not only budget reliability, we had just discussion of budget, transparency of public finances, management of the assets and liabilities of the government, policy-based fiscal strategy, control in budget execution, its accounting, reporting, and then external audit and its scrutiny. All that involves what we call public financial management. I think this is a very, very knowledgeable and learned audience. I would not go into the details of the various funds which we have mandated by the Constitution of India, namely the Consolidated Fund of India, the Contingency Fund and Public Account. But I would like to dwell upon that accounting is the foundation of the entire thing. It is the foundation of accountability, and it is through this approach the union government or the state government, they present their annual accounts, which consist of their finance account and appropriation account. And this is one part of it. And the second part is to strengthen the public financial management. There is a Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act, which has also been enacted by the Parliament and the state legislature. And this is to ensure intergenerational equity. The expenditure should not be to fulfill the aspirations of one generation, but it is for ensuring the intergenerational equity, that there should be discipline in the fiscal matters in the government. And we, as the constitutional auditor of the government, we not only ensure that the accounts which are presented by the government, they are presenting what in the commercial auditing parlance we know the true and fair view of affairs. But also we go behind those transactions, and that is going beyond what is normally done by a chartered accountant in a company. We go behind and we check the propriety, the wisdom of expenditure, what we call the economy, efficiency and effectiveness of expenditure. the report of the Comptroller and Auditor General of India broadly are from the financial audit, the compliance audit, and then the performance audit. And all these kinds of reports are then presented to the Parliament. In the Parliament, there is a very strong system of scrutiny of CAG's audit report, and that is in terms of the Public Accounts Committee. And in respect of the audit report on the central PSCs, there is a committee on public undertaking. Now, all these institutions which have been created by the founding fathers of our Constitution, which have been thought of, they are working in a way that there are adequate checks and balances which are enshrined in our Constitution, which are actually at display. Now, even for the, after enactment of the Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act, CAG also comes out with not only report on the normal audit report on the accounts, he also comes out with a report on the FRBM. That is how the public finances and the discipline enshrined in the FRBM are being used. I would just like to mention one or two more things before I conclude. Just like the accounting and auditing institutions have a very strong framework of the Accounting Standards Board, the government also have created a Government Accounting Standards Advisory Board, and that consists of representatives from various government accounting organizations, the civil accounts, railway accounts, defense accounts, and it is working under the institution of the CAG of India. And the Ministry of Finance is also an important participant. And we also have the rigor of pronouncing the government accounting standards following this approach. Another thing I would like to mention that the United Nations, you all must be aware that now has been promoting the, not only this, the colors which we see here in WOFA, the SDGs. There's also promoting by the United Nations on the natural resource accounting across the world. And CAG has made an initiative in that, and it has come out with a concept paper on natural resource accounting towards helping the cause of environmental accounting, climate change, and sustainable development goals. We have also issued a compendium of asset accounts on mineral and energy resources, which include details of all 4 fossil fuels, 40 major minerals, and 63 minor minerals in 28 states and 1 union territory in our country. This is a first-of-a-kind initiative. While we also, as far as SDGs are concerned, since it's an international conference, I thought I must mention that. This is also audit of implementation of SDG, also important part of our performance audits. Health, nutrition, clean water, education, and environmental issues have been some of the areas of our focus in audit of SDGs of late. We have come out with reports which deal with water issues, air quality, air pollution, waste, biodiversity, and environmental management system. But I must say, accountability and auditing as a profession, this has been central to building trust in the economic and financial system in the country, not only in the private sector, but more importantly in the government sector. In this journey of this great nation, the accountancy and auditing profession has been a strong edifice and enabler in policy formulation and implementation as an instrumentality for augmenting, consolidating, and protecting public interest. I am sure the experience and insights of the discussions in this World Forum would be able to result in a blueprint of ideas in the pursuit of institution building for the global betterment. I convey my best wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We cannot thank you enough in words for taking the time out and gracing this beautiful Saturday evening with your kind presence. And now it's time to bring back CA Mr. Mangesh Kinare for the final vote of thanks. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause.
C. Anand Mohan Bajaj ji, Deputy Comptroller and Auditor General of India, Commercial. On behalf of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, let me thank you for sparing your valuable time and giving us insights and throwing light on the role of CAG in strengthening the public finance system. Sir, you have really given us new insight in this, and I'm pretty sure all chartered accountants will be much more eager to work hand in hand with CAG. And we assure you our fullest cooperation wherever needed from the Institute in this regard. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. And now, may I request both of you to come forward. Time for felicitation. And our petty way to say thank you to none other than this gem, Deputy Comptroller and Auditor General, Shri Anand Mohan Bajaj. Sir, thank you so much. And thank you so much, CA Mr. Mangesh Kinare. It's an absolute pleasure to have you both here with us. And here, I am parting ways from all of you. Thank you so much. I'm Deepthi Singh signing off. Have a great evening ahead.
This will also be our concluding session for the day. Post this, we'll have a very auspicious and a momentous awards ceremony. So for all of you, you have to stay back with us, and this in itself is going to be a super interesting session because we will be discussing the Union Budget 2025 insights with the brilliant panelists that I'm going to call out. So once again, a very good evening to all of you, to all the ladies and gentlemen who've been here with us since the morning. It has been a super productive day. So with that, welcome to the panel discussion on the Union Budget 2025. I'm thrilled to be here with our esteemed panelists. We will be delving into the insights and implications of this year's budgets. But before we begin, let's take a moment to acknowledge our Finance Minister, Nirmala Sitharaman ma'am, for presenting a budget that aims to drive inclusive growth and development across various sectors. So without further ado, I would now be calling out our esteemed panelists. We have with us a distinguished panel of experts who will share their thoughts and analysis on the key highlights and potential impacts of the Union Budget 2025. And acting as the moderators for this session, I would be taking the opportunity to invite on stage CA Sushil Goyal and CA Piyush Chhajar sir, our Central Council members. Can we give a great round of applause, please? Moving forward to our esteemed panelists, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us none other than CA Dr. Girish Ahuja. Yes, and that's what we wanted. He needs no introduction, definitely. He's been an author of over 25 books, consultant on tax matters, and delivered more than 4,000 lectures. Moving forward, acting as the next panelist for this session, we have with us Mr. Sumit Sanghai, ladies and gentlemen. A great round of applause. He's a key member of the leadership group of ICICI Bank Limited and also the head of corporate banking group at ICICI. He's also the chairman of the board at ICICI Bank. Moving forward to our next panelist, we have with us Shri Vivek Chandrakant Tongankar. Can we give a great round of applause? With over 37 years of a professional experience, has become an industry veteran, contributing significantly across the entire energy value chain. He is currently serving as the Director of Finance and CFO of Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited. And our final panelist for this session, we have with us Mr. Anuj Mathur. Can we have a great round of applause? He's the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer at Canara HSBC Life Insurance. He's worked in various leadership roles in finance, risk management, legal, compliance, and secretarial domains. So I know this has been the most awaited session. We've been all patiently waiting for this session. So without taking any further moment, I would be handing over this session to our moderators, CA Sushil Goyal and CA Piyush Chhajar sir. On to you, sir.
Good evening, all. I welcome all of to this panel discussion. And budget is presented today, and this panel is for the Union Budget 2025 Insights. The first question which is coming to my mind for the panel, because in economic survey as well as in budget, Madam has spoken about the ease of doing business. So how much required the ease of doing business in our country, and what our panel is thinking about this. What is their viewpoint, whether we have achieved or something more to be done in this particular area. We can start with Girish Ahuja, sir. Sir, you will be first, sir. On ease of doing business, sir, whether we have, how much to be worked on the ease of doing business, not direct tax or anything.
Not direct tax right now. I only know direct tax, sir.
Sir, ultimately you know business also.
Sir, are you happy or not today? Yes. That means ease of doing business. See, everyone, most of us, have gained about 1,10,000 plus surcharge plus education tax. I have personally gained 1,43,000 rupees as a benefit to me. So this is what is required. Middle income group, now you can imagine, they are very happy about it. And think about the lower category also. I never thought, never in my life I had thought they'll raise it to 12 lakhs. 12 lakh is a very big amount. Very big amount, you know. 62,400 saving. Let me tell you directly, if it is 12 lakh. 62,400, why did I say 4% you should also add? Never say 60,000, plus 4% also. When I said 110, I have added surcharge, I have added education tax also, then only it comes to 1,43,000 rupees. So what I'm trying to tell you, the government listens, and they have this time done a wonderful job. And this was not an election year at all. This was not an election year at all. Last year was an election year. And they have done many other things when the time comes, because the other dignitaries are also there. I will definitely say, and I have a program tomorrow also, no issue. We will have analysis tomorrow also. Don't worry about that. And over to our...
Sir, I will ask CA Vivek Chandrakant ji, what is your view, sir? How much we have achieved this, the ease of doing business in our country, and how much do we work on this area? What is your feeling, sir?
Yeah, thank you very much. As Ahuja ji has already mentioned, we personally have all of us benefited greatly from this budget. But other than that, what we find is that the government over the years also has been ensuring that the ease of business is more and more. We have seen that this government has dismantled a number of redundant laws which had been creating problems for the industry as such. This improvement has been going on over a period of time, and we find that in this budget also, the government has introduced certain measures, certain facilitators that would go a long way in helping the industry to perform better. Some of them have been small, maybe it is like as far as TCS is concerned that there has been an exemption granted, so that would go to some extent. There have been rationalizations as far as, or the increases that have been brought about in the TDS amounts that are being deducted. These may appear to be small, but they do improve the ease of business. There have been reduction in the number of customs tariffs. Now we have done away with 7 tariffs as such over there. We have also seen that in IFSC, they have brought in that if you have a company already registered over there and you take loans over there, then group companies, when the loans are given, there would no longer be a requirement of giving dividend, etc. So these sort of issues have been put up. The government has also put emphasis on manufacturing. They have also brought out that they would be, as far as critical minerals are concerned, they have brought in certain concessions that are there on the imports. Other than that, they have reduced, they have also focusing upon alternate energy manufacturing, equipment that is required, solar, PV cells, turbines, wind turbines, electrolyzers, etc. These things would go a long way for doing, improving the business climate in this country. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now we will straightway go to the Sumit Sangai ji, who is from Calcutta, but now settled in Mumbai. What is your views on this, sir?
Thank you, Sushil ji. First of all, honestly, Saturday, 6:45 p.m. I was not expecting this entire hall to be full. So a round of applause to this lovely audience. So, while, we speak a lot about ease of doing business, I think directionally, and I will put this in context of some of my experiences with US and Canada, I think in India clearly, directionally, not necessarily with the budget, overall the ease of doing transactions has significantly gone up in the last decade. You look at the digital adoption that's happened in the country today. the banking services, the way it gets served, small things which the government has done, including, I would say, the passport, anything that you look at it, I would say the ease of transactions in their own way, the country has gone up. And I'll put this, an example, recently the entire Canada board, we have a subsidiary in Canada, and the entire Canada board was here in India. And we had taken them 2 days to Jaipur. And they were surprised, at the digital adoption in India. They were surprised with the quality of India. And during the board meeting, they were saying is that the amount of learning that they had during the 2 or 3 day visit to India from Indians was amazing. So I would say that in terms of look at this hall quality, and what Arunji also spoke about it. This quality, I can tell you, this quality of hall, this kind of infrastructure will not even exist in any of the places in US, any of the biggest developed economies. So I would say there's a lot of work, there's a lot of good work that's happening in the country. I think, yes, certainly as far as the operational, and I have on my left hand side expert of GST. So I know, I think clearly there's a little bit of more work which is there. I think on the income tax side, I think with this expansion of, I would say this number to 12 lakh rupees itself, I think that in a mandate itself should ease off a lot of those things. So I think there is a lot of directional effort by the government, and I can only tell you because we interact a lot with the global funds, global people, the respect of India today and respect of the entire fraternity, whether it is CAs, whether it is engineers, whether it is medical practitioner today, in the global landscape, is at a different level. So a decade back, the respect which all of us used to get on a global platform, and the respect what we get today is completely of a different order. So to that extent, I would say there is a significant effort that's happening. It may happen in budget, it may happen outside the budget. That directionally, as a country, we are working a lot on easing of things for us as individuals as well as on the business side.
Thank you, Sumit ji, for taking such nice segment of our country to discussion. Now I am going to see Anuj Mathur ji for your views, sir.
Thanks. I think it's an excellent budget. And I'll not count on the kind of measures which have been announced, obviously very clear. But I think the message is loud and clear. And that is that the government wants to trust the taxpayers. Government wants to liberalize the overall kind of environment which is there. And one big announcement which happened today in sector where I'm directly associated, life insurance, where government has allowed 100% FDI in insurance. I think it's a very, very bold move. Many countries, even today, advanced countries don't allow 100% FDI. So that's the message which is going from the government to everyone in the world, that as an economy, we are a very progressive economy. And as Sumit said, I think the respect for India has gone up several times. So I think it's a compliment for the government, for our Honorable PM and the entire government machinery. The message is very, very positive. And if I look at a couple of announcements which have been made today, obviously FDI in insurance is a big thing. The other one is that for the policies which will be issued out of Gift City, there it's 100% tax exemption for the gains. So again, it's a very big thing. And that shows the intent of the government to bring India at par with some of the developed countries. So I think that day is not very far off when we'll see India as a 10 trillion economy. I think 2047, that's the vision of the Prime Minister, sir, and I think we are on way to that. So I think very, very positive messages which have come out of this budget, and hats off to the government for making such bold moves.
Thank you. We have with us our Direct Tax Committee Chairman, Piyush Chhajed. So why not to hear his views on this? Over to you, Piyush bhai.
Thank you very much, Sushil ji. Thank you. Obviously, coming from a direct tax background, and when Girish Ahuja sir has to speak, obviously there would be nothing to speak more on that. But yes, ease of doing business in this whole budget from a direct tax perspective has been kept in mind. And the most important question, which will be, of course, coming to Girish Ahuja sir also in this regard, that new income tax act which is going to come in the next week. I don't know whether it's a Monday or it's a Friday or anywhere in between. And obviously is that when we had a meeting 3 months before also, and we were been told that the idea of income tax act new coming in was simplification obviously in the language, reducing tax litigations, obviously both points out towards the ease of doing business. Ahuja sir, if you would like to put my first, in fact, I would first request you, why this Income Tax Act? Is it because of ease of doing business or something more behind it?
Let me first tell you, you have not listened to the finance minister. Last time she said direct tax code or direct tax bill. Today she said income tax bill. Have you understood one thing? Why was the need of direct tax? Direct tax means we only have one tax. Had there been a direct tax, they could have included inheritance tax also. Now she has promised there is only income tax. So there is no question of any other tax to be introduced in this parliament. Nobody has understood that. And I went to them, I said, what is the need of direct tax when there is only one tax? Similarly, direct tax Vivad se Vishwas scheme. Why direct tax Vivad se Vishwas scheme? It was income tax Vivad se Vishwas scheme because wealth tax was not covered under the Vivad se Vishwas scheme. So they have corrected it, and let me tell you, we had given this 274 section without any proviso. At particular time in 2018-19, the law was made, but never exposed. Now they have picked up that and have introduced many changes which have taken place between 6 years and all that. And let me tell you, it is going to be very simple. It is going to be very simple, and we will make it difficult. Provisos have to be introduced afterwards, you know. There were no proviso at one time in 1961. Was there any proviso there at that particular time? And now you have a proviso, 24 proviso in section 10, clause 23C. So who introduced proviso? So wait and watch, it is without any proviso. Only explanations are there. There were 550 sections in the Income Tax Act now. Is present Act, Income Tax Act, 550. It is not 298. It is 550 sections. Because all capital sections are also sections. 44A, 44AA, 44AB, 44AD, 44AE, 44ADA. These are all the sections. So what I'm trying to explain, beware, we have a good future, particularly chartered accountant. New law. Understand now? We have new law, but you will have to study it. You will have to study it, and once you studied it, who made this indirect tax or the GST, possible in this country? Chartered accountants. And the new law, again chartered accountants will do. So you should be happy that you are going to have a very good future for another 5 to 10 years.
In direct tax regime. So nobody need to worry about direct tax.
No worry at all.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Obviously, we have a lot of other proposals which have come on direct tax, and we go one by one. But before that, I would like to touch upon, because on indirect tax proposals, I would request Sushil bhai if he can just touch upon some significant proposals which have come on indirect tax. And before we go into intricacies of direct tax, Sushil.
I think Girish Ahuja sir is here and people are not interested in indirect tax. Still, I must say this retrospective amendment, which government promised before coming into the power that there will be no retrospective amendment, but still we have seen another, it is not the first retrospective amendment in GST, section 17.5D, it is retrospectively getting amended. But I think, Piyush bhai, it is compulsion sometime, government is amending this type of provisions. And others are, all we are aware, custom duties has been rationalized a lot, and it will definitely give, few sector will definitely get benefited out of this. And other things are very small things in GST, but definitely we need to discuss this safari retreat 17.5D in detail. That times to come, we will definitely have a session separately for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Coming back to Ahuja sir, again, obviously, you did mention about the significant, two important significant proposals in budget. Obviously, you have said something on personal tax, and everybody is aware also of 12 lakhs. But that is also a thought process that increasing the threshold limit, exemption limit, increasing the tax slabs, is it you are moving towards removal of this default old regime. Is it that's an idea? Because if you do a comparison somewhere, now who would opt for old tax regime?
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
old regime has to go. And particularly the new income tax bill, there will be no old regime at all. And what is the point of going for an old regime when on 12 lakh rupees in the new regime you are getting a benefit? You work out the benefit, whatever deduction you are getting under ATC or ATCC or whatever is it, you work out that. Still it is better to go for that.
Right.
And at the same time, one man who is not going for all these deductions, he is getting a deduction of 12 lakh rupees exemption. It is not 12 lakh per salaried employee, it is 12 lakh 75,000 rupees. 75,000 standard deduction is also getting. I'm telling you, there is 70% have already shifted to new regime. And I think they will all be now shifting to the new regime, and it is more simple. Because people were taking benefit of ATC without depositing the amount also. That is the point. They were taking the benefit of deductions under ATD without paying for the money. This is not done. This is not done. You want to take a benefit, at least you deposit under ATC 1,50,000. You are not depositing because 99% cases the government has said trust first and scrutiny later policy.
Yeah.
So trust will be only then when you don't claim wrong deductions at all. Now there is no deduction, so it is always a trust,
Sir, another significant proposal which we could go through in the budget itself is, of course, there is called ease of doing business. But after April 2021, it was felt that there is not ease of doing charity in India. Ease of doing charity.
Charity.
And there was quite a difficult proposition which have come for the charitable trust. A lot of provisions have come from 2021 onwards. Is this budget giving some relief on that account?
Yeah, let me tell you. Two topics in income tax nobody knew. One is charitable trust, another is the Hindu undivided family. No one knows. But now things have become different. It has materialized. Now they have improved charity, of course, and they have listened to two things very big. Small charitable trust, now I've been told the renewal will not be after 5 years, it will be after 10 years. Provided last 2 years you are less than 5 crore. So renewal of the is now you will take time for renewal. Pramod Jain was saying, our central council member, it should be for ATG also. Correct. Let us see, we will recommend that or your institute. How many, tell me one thing, how many recommendations of the institute have been accepted in this bill? So many. So you should be given credit for that because you have put up that pre-budget memorandum. For that they have accepted it. So my point is, another point which was very bad problem, and that was if you have made a contribution of 50,000 under section 13(3), the 50,000, then we were worried, what about our relative, whatever person who has a substantial interest, and 50,000 also once in a lifetime, how can I take the figure? Now that 50,000 has been increased to 1 lakh, and aggregate has been increased to 10 lakh, and secondly, nothing to talk about relative. Nothing to talk about a concern in which we have substantial interest. Only if I contribute, more than 1 lakh has contributed, or in aggregate 10 lakh, then only I'll be called a person who is interested in that. Right. So that has also been simplified, sir. They have given a benefit to us, and let us, one more thing also they have said, that the cancellation will not be only for one reason, that for certain small violation, specified violation small, and they are cancelling your, what you call, registration. Yeah. That also they have mentioned, small agent, we will not cancel your registration at all. So the charity also is being rationalized,
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir. This 50,000 relatives of the donor of 50,000 was a big task for my auditors also, the members. So how to locate and how to know that whether the relatives have really contributed. I think so it will help a great way. We have tried to cover up that in our guidance note also. So before again I come back, obviously I have other panelists. I'll just take small questions from Sumitji to the first. What do you see the impact on capital market and financial services? You come from a banking background of this budget. Any views on that, Sumitji?
So let me put some data in context. Most of chartered accountants are investors, so they'll understand this data also in the context. So let's look at what's happened to India in the last decade. The market cap of India a decade back, which is in 2014, was close to 70 lakh crores. Today, even after the market crash and while I was having coffee, one of the chartered accountant was across the table anyway saying, "Is my portfolio thodi kam ho gayi hai." But that doesn't matter. If you really look at the market cap of India today in a decade is 420 lakh crore. So if you really look at the data, which is the 10-year decade, the market cap of India has become 6x. Obviously, there are new sets of companies which has also come into India. So in terms of, if you look at the market cap of India now, we are the third or the fourth largest market cap across the globe. Would we have thought of this in 2014? The answer was probably absolutely no. So if you look at the wealth creation that's happened in India in the last decade is of different order. Now, this, if you look at this data of the budget and, the way the government is wanting to anchor a lot of things, there is nothing negative for the capital market today if you look at it. So the government is very, very conscious that this is a very important part of the growth journey of India. So in a manner, if you look at whatever ease has been done, whatever income tax relief has been done, but if you really look at the whole thought process is how do we really grow the capital market of the country, because finally the country will only grow when the capital availability is there. A lot of people, these days discuss that India ka market is very expensive. Correct? A lot of discussions is there that, market is expensive. Let me give you another data. So if you look at GDP to market cap, which is one macro, another indicator, our GDP is close to about 320 lakh crore. So we are trading at 1.3 times. The market cap of India today is 1.3 times of the GDP. Can anyone tell me what is the GDP ratio for US, because we are moving towards the developed economy? Any guesses? It's 2.1. So US today is trading at 2.1 times the GDP. So if you really look at directionally the amount of good work that the country is doing, I would say all of you doing here, the way we are taking the country forward, really directionally India's market cap and the whole discussion about can India move from a 400 lakh crore market cap to 1000 lakh crore market cap by 2030. When I interact with all the global investors who are coming and putting capital into India, they are very, very confident that one geography that will leapfrog in the next 5 to 6 years would be India. So that is one. Coming specifically as far as the budget is concerned, I think the capital market guys, all of them were only expecting there should not be any negative. They were not expecting anything. They were just expecting no negative for us and we are fine.
Yeah.
So that's how I would say that there was no negativity, which itself is a booster. Obviously the market's reactions can be different. But I think I can only tell you because I interact a lot with the global investors, a lot of private equity funds. Everyone is sitting with billions of dollars. They want to invest into India. The challenge for them is they are not able to get enough papers today in India. So if you look at any large company in India wants to raise $1 billion or $2 billion, the issue will get sold in 24 hours subject to little bit pricing here and there. So to that extent, I would say directionally, this budget is really helping capital market and also the entire financial services.
So it's positive for the
Yes,
capital market.
absolutely positive.
That's what we're making point. Anuji, you would like to, on financial services, you have already explained something on insurance. What are the benefits available on the budget?
I think the big thing out in this budget is that the disposable income of people is going to go up. And now I think we all Indians have learned that there's more money if we invest in financial instruments rather than physical. So earlier, people used to invest in commodities, when I say commodities, gold, real estate. I think that money is now moving into financial instruments, which is stock market, all of that. So this disposable income, additional disposable income, which is going to get generated, will get into the market. So it's very, very positive news for the market. Market should look at this very, very positively. And as Sumit also mentioned, I think the respect for India has gone up several times. Like I have recently met some foreign institutional investors in Singapore, and everyone is so optimistic about India because the growth which is there in India is going to be top notch. Even the GDP growth which we are talking about in India is higher than China. So I think there's a lot of potential. And this budget, as I mentioned earlier, also is very progressive because it will channelize money into the right areas. There's infrastructure spending which will have multiplier effect. So I think if I look purely from capital market perspective, it's a positive development. And some of the relaxations or I'll say clarifications which have been given, they are also going to help. In fact, one of the provisions is on the ULIPs that now they will be treated as a capital asset. Correct. So I think that itself provides a big clarity, and again, up to a certain limit, it is going to be tax-free. So overall, it's very positive for the capital markets. The message is very positive. So I think coming Monday, which is day after tomorrow, when the markets will open, I expect that foreign institutional investors will actually applaud what has happened this Saturday, which is today.
Okay, thank you, Anuj. Just taking it a clue from you, Anuj, that Ahuja sir, fiscal deficit is expected to come down from 4.8 to 4.4. But I heard Honorable Finance Minister saying that by giving the SOPs in the budget as far as direct tax is concerned, there is a loss of around 1 lakh crores to the exchequer, whereas the total revenue receipts will go up by 2 lakhs crores. So I fail to understand, sir, if you can throw some light on it, that how the revenues will increase when there's a loss at one point.
Sir, last time also no benefit was given, right? And the collections have gone up by 4 lakh crores. And they want more compliances. People are not ready to pay tax. Let me tell you, people are ready to pay tax and they want, and now when it is 12.5% on capital gain, and the other benefit which you are going to get, let me tell you, the compliance is very important. Annual information statement will be consolidated further. So information will come to them and people will be afraid of that. They will have to show every penny to pay tax in that.
So reduction in tax rate will give buoyancy, give the buoyancy in tax collections and compliance. So just to take it forward, because the tax compliance and the TDS has been always a very serious issue. It's the most compliance issue. People face a lot of hurdles when it comes to TDS, TCS provisions. What are the significant proposals in this budget, if you can just throw light on that?
Sir, let
TDS,
me tell
TCS.
you, the best thing was, there was a confusion about 194Q and 206C1H. Seller should collect TCS for sale, or the buyer should deduct the TDS on the purchases. Now they have done away with it. So simplification, now it is buyer. Those big companies, they were saying we are not concerned, we will take on sales only, we will collect TCS now. Now this is done away with, only 194Q, and you don't have to bother about that. Sometimes they say we have deducted TCS, somebody said we have deducted TDS, and how can this work? So this is simplification. This is simplification. Another simplification, rent. But one clue is that of course you are laughing away, I know that. 2,40,000, she said 6 lakh. I know it is not 6 lakh, it is 50,000 per month. You can make the understand what is this 50,000 per month or 6 lakh. Everybody knows 50 multiplied by 12 is 6 lakh. But there is a catch in that. And you should understand what is the catch in that. It is per month you have to take it there. It is not the per year calculation which you have to do it. So that is important, no doubt. But at the same time, all the threshold limits have been increased. Think of 192 section now. TDS on salary. Now up to 12 lakh there is no need to deduct tax, or even 12 lakh 75,000. So much workload has gone down. Let me see. There are so many people who are getting less than 1 lakh or around 1 lakh rupees per month. All middle class, 1 lakh per month. No TDS at all, nothing. And they have been benefited by 5,000 rupees per month if they are up to 1 lakh per month. 1 lakh 5,000 per month is a benefit given to them. So see simplification. See that they will not be liable to pay any TDS. They were afraid of TDS. Oh, TDS. Now they have nothing to do with the TDS if it is 12 lakh 75,000. Maybe other income is more, but it is 12 lakh 75,000 salary. And then again, you would talk about the other, only one thing, they have not reduced the TDS rate. But think of the remittances, LRS, 7 lakh raised to 10 lakh. That is a benefit, of course. And for education, we have taken a loan. There is no question of any TCS. Earlier it was 0.5%. That too is gone now. So my point is concerned, they are considering.
So, but obviously there's one discussion which is going on, that obviously if my taxable income itself is going from 700,000 to 1200,000, obviously TDS threshold has to increase. So what the relief you have given? If I am exempt up to 7 lakhs, now I would be exempt up to 12 lakhs, then obviously I don't have to deduct TDS. 30,000 has to go to 50,000. So there's no major per se consideration.
I'm not most concerned, our man is 194T. More concern is what happened to those 194T TDS on salary and the interest to the partners. Am I right? That of course some mistake has been committed. You will be definitely representing and give it to the post-budget memorandum, and I think that will be rectified. There is nothing to worry about 194T. Something will definitely happen there.
Thank you very much, Ahuja sir. Again, before again I come back to direct tax, obviously I would like to ask Vivek ji, because the theme of this conference has been always sustainability and climate change has been, you have any views, because you come from an industry which is oil, gas, energy. Obviously a lot of climate impacts do have this industry, has on the climate. So is this budget addressing some of issues which could help in reducing the climate change impact?
Yes. Yeah. So the budget does address sustainability and climate change also. They have brought out that they would be bringing in climate finance taxonomy. This should go a long way in bringing about newer financial methods for sustainable goals that are there in India. We should also be seeing certain renewable energy investments also going up, because that have also been mentioned that there would be certain concessions given, or there would be the government would be having funds for ensuring that this green renewable energy products are manufactured in India. Other than that, as I've already mentioned, for critical minerals also, the government is pursuing, and they have also dispensed with certain taxes that were there. This would go a long way, especially when it comes to batteries, lithium batteries, etc., which are very critical as far as sustainability is concerned. And we do also see to it that the government in the past also has come in for offshore wind, where they have mentioned viability gap funding for up to 1 gigawatts of offshore wind projects that would be coming up. So these should go a long way in as far as sustainability is concerned in India is concerned.
Yeah, definitely. So, of course, this basic issues are being addressed, and obviously it will help. Coming back to Ahuja sir, obviously, sir. Sir, I believe there is also something which has come up on startups in this. Startups. Direct tax, some tax holidays to startups
Sir,
have some.
For starters, for International Financial Service Center.
Yes.
They have given the benefit, which was, sunset was up to 31st March. Now they have taken it to 31st March 2030. 5-year extension. And there is one confusion always I have in mind, or people have in mind. They all talk about gift city. Sir, gift city is different for International Financial Center. Gift city, International Financial Center, there are benefits. Gift city, there are not many benefits, sir. We all call them gift city, gift city. In the gift city, there is International Financial Center. In that International Financial Center, they have given a lot of benefits. And they have extended this ATLA, 10.4D, 10.4E, 10.4F from 25 to 2030. 5-year extension for startup, 5-year extension, startup, whatever benefit they were getting for 3 years in a consecutive period of 10 years. Now, after 25, it was closing down, they have taken it to 30. Even International Financial Center, 25 taken to 30. Even that leasing of ship leasing also has been brought into the International Financial Center, the benefit of that capital gain on that, and also the dividend also on that. So there are many advantages which have been given to international financial centers, and they are bound to give it. They are bound to give it. So, and secondly, of course, I've told you, startups. The benefit of the most benefit of the startup was given there at 5627B was earlier. That benefit was given. Now it is for everyone. But what I'm trying to explain, the government is interested that we have more units in International Finance Center. We have more startups, and we give them benefit, whichever was there, because that was going to, sunset clause was there. Now 5-year period is a big period. Again, we'll see what happens in 30.
Right. Thank you, thank you. So there's an extension of dates as far as startup is concerned, a lot of SOPs as far as IFSC is concerned. And in fact, on that IFSC also, we have given a lot of suggestions. We had given a separate report from the institute also, where our president was heading the committee of IFSC for the tax reforms per se. And I believe a lot of those suggestions have accepted.
Sir, I should congratulate the institute and particularly the directors committee chairman. Whatever pre-budget memorandum was given, most of the points have been accepted by the government.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, another coming to the next, there is some changes which has happened in updated returns, and the Madam Finance Minister also mentioned that around 93 lakhs were updated in last 2 years, I believe from 2022. So the experience of the, I believe, CBDT is different when it comes to updated. If you can just throw some light on that, what is the changes which is happening and what it could result into basically?
This was suggested by us way back in 2018. He said there may be a mistake which may be committed by us, and now there is after 31st December you cannot revise your return. So what is the possibility? So the question was brought 139.8A updated return. You know that you can file updated return for a period of 2 years earlier. 25% on aggregate tax and interest extra, and 50% of the second year. Now they have gone beyond that you can file the updated return for a period of 4 years. For a period of 4 years. Next third year, 60% and 70% for the fourth year. But there is a clause. Up to 3 years, there is absolutely no problem. But if it is you are going to file for 4 years, please note there should not be any proceeding under 148. That is 148A3 or A. If that is there, then of course you cannot go for the fourth year. But 3 years, up to 3 years, there is absolutely no problem. Pay 60% extra on the aggregate amount of tax and interest. 60%. You will say it's too much. It's not too much. It's 60% of 30%. It's 60% of 30%. That is about whatever say 18%.
So
plus of course
roughly.
60% of the interest also. That of course is there. But let me tell you, still it is better. No penalty, nothing. Absolutely update your return and be happy about that.
So if you are issuing the show cause notice under 148 capital A, and you still have a time if it's within 3 years, you mean to say you pay 48% tax,
yes.
30 plus 60%, so for roughly 48 plus interest thereon and buy piece.
Sir, at least better than 115 beat.
Sir, ये VDI
115 beat.
Sir, ये VDI scheme नहीं हो जाएगा? It's working. Hello.
देखिए ये कह रहे हैं कि VDIS नहीं हो जाएगा. हम चाहते हैं कि you should become, you are given a chance to become honest. You might have committed a mistake. Now you have the chance to pay tax little extra, and maybe you call it as a regular type of a VDS, but it is not directly VDS. Some benefit is given to you, provided you take your chance, you become honest and pay taxes and forget about it. 271AA, what was this 271AA? That is also a thing that you don't want to pay penalty. You say, we accept whatever is assessment done. So that is also 271AA, your penalty was improved. So the government is giving you chance to come out clean, Sustainability वहाँ नहीं है, sustainability यहाँ भी चाहिए, green होने.
Right.
ये मैं बोल रहा हूँ.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So if you realize that there is a mistake in the return, it may not be going clean. That's what I understand. You pay additional tax of 60%, roughly resulting into 48%. It's a good scheme. Up to 3 years, even after issuance of notice. Beyond 3 years, no notice can be issued. Sir, there is again little changes which we could see it when we were reviewing the budget in regard to time limits also. Time limits for passing the penalty orders. That were 6 months. There were a lot of small changes happening for block assessment. If any.
The point is, they have said now it is they have been given 3 months now. Earlier it was 1 month, even for 270 1A, you had to take the decision in 1 month's time. Penalty also 1 month from the end of the month or 1 month from the end of the quarter. Now they have done every quarter, a quarter after the end of a particular thing. So they are simplifying it. They are giving you chance. One more thing. The prosecution benefit which was given in the case of TDS has been extended to TCS also. That means if you are able to deposit that amount before the due date, we are not going to go you for prosecution at all. So that was also recommended for TDS. Now they have accepted for TCS also. It is also a very big, good thing. And other non-filer, no nothing. Now only PAN default 20% TDS. Otherwise non-filer, that point is not there now. That also been simplified.
Okay, so even if the person is a non-filer, I need not go for the higher rate of TDS. That has been abolished. That's
Correct.
what we understand. Sir, coming to international tax also, I believe there is some changes which have happened in arm's length price, where some options has been given to the SSE.
Change in the arm length price is little different. When the case has gone to TPO, Transfer Pricing Officer under 92CA, now he has to take a decision on that. And if you want, an option has been given to you, that if you accept that, you are given an option that you want that this should be applicable to you for another 2 years also. But the total period is 3 years. You can do it, you can exercise the option, and TPO will have to accept that, provided he may prescribe certain conditions for that, which are likely to come. But what I'm trying to say, again and again going to the TPO, running for that, to get the, the AO is in the habit of referring to the TPO. And TPO will take its own time. So they said, let us simplify it. First year you have accepted. Give an exercise an option that we want it for another 2 years also. And if you give it for another 2 years, they will accept it. And conditions will prescribe these same conditions. If it are there, they will accept it. So this is again ease of doing business.
Is bringing in certainty what we believe. So if there is an addition or some adjustments given by TPO for the year one, you take an option that it will be applicable for 3 years. So I am not undergoing regress of TPO assessment basically. So thank you very much, Ahuja sir. If you would like to speak anything else about that, or otherwise I'll again.
I'll speak tomorrow also.
So over to Sushil bhai, please.
Let me ask the question, the common question we should ask at the end of any panel discussion, how you will rank the budget from 1 to 10. And you must give the reason for that, why you're thinking so. Let me start from Sumit ji only. How much you want to give the point? And if anything you want to speak, it is not compulsion, but points is compulsion.
I think the audience itself had answered that at the beginning of, when this entire discussion was going on and when Arunji spoke about it. I think the round of applause itself answers in terms of how's the budget, and what Girish sir also spoke about in terms of the direct benefit to each and everyone in this room. Itself, I think for a long, long time, this was something which was being given. So I think kudos to the government and the entire team which has worked on it. It's a very, very good budget. So it's not right to put a number to it, but I think it's overall a very, very good budget, and especially from all stakeholder perspective, since morning at least, whoever I've interacted, I have not heard anything negative. So I think to that extent, it's a great budget.
Thank you, Sumit ji. So but still you should give number 8, 10, 9, whatever you want to, but you cannot skip the question itself. The examiner will not going to give you any mark if you are not giving the number. Whatever you write, but you have to write the number.
I think we have the expert here, Girish ji. I think we can start with him.
Sir, I'm otherwise very biased, I'm for pro-government. 9 out of 10.
Thank you, sir. Anuj ji, you want to speak on this, sir?
I think you're forcing everyone to give a score because, I know chartered accountants, they breathe numbers in and out. So, see, it's very difficult to find anything which is not there in the budget. I think it's a very good budget, and I think once we read the fine print, we'll get to know more. But I think it's a brilliant budget, and I'll say 10 out of 10. Why not?
Sir, you are saying you are pro-government and you are giving 9, Anuj ji is giving 10. Sir, you are saying you are pro-government, sir. You have to now justify, sir, why you have deducted. Ahuja ji has to justify why he has deducted 1 marks and claiming to be a government.
9 out of 10 इसलिए दिया, अगला 10 by 10 आ रहा है. So I want 9 out of 10. Let the new come, it will be 10 over 10.
Vivek, you also please add on here.
Yeah. So the budget goes a long way as far as ease of doing business is concerned. There have been many small nitty-gritties what have been brought out by Ahuja ji also, which make life much more simpler. So the administrative costs of many of these was much more than the actual compliance part of it, or the payment part of it as such. So as far as that is concerned, this was very good. And what actually comes as a topping is that there have been no new taxes. So I think that is something that we should be very happy. We have more certainty as far as what is going to happen in future. No new taxes which have come up is actually a topping for us, and maybe I should give it 11 out of 10 then.
I have given 9 of 10, I'll tell you tomorrow. There are some points which are fine in that fine prints, So that's why it is 9. It is not 10. Fine print tomorrow.
Sir, Vivek ji, it will be, numerically it will be wrong. So how you can give 11?
Sir, there should always be a scope of improvement. If I
Okay,
give 10 out of 10, they will feel relaxed.
But Vivek ji want to give 11, sir.
अरे
How
वो
to
ठीक है ना।
justify?
वो grace marks भी दे
As
दीजिए।
far as we were concerned,
5 number सफाई के.
yeah, we were very happy that there are no new taxes in this thing. Generally, we have been one sector which have been there for ad hoc taxes which have come up, and we have had pretty lot of issues. I'm sure my friends, some of them are here from the oil industry, they would agree that this ad hoc taxation or introduction of taxation does create a lot of problems for us, which is not there this time. So I think, yes, it's a very good job that the government has done. And as Mr. Ahuja said, we now realize that they are also listening to us. We have been making representations,
Yes, true, sir,
and
true.
we have been heard, and they have taken a lot of steps which it will actually improve the investor sentiments. I'm talking about it as far as foreign direct investments are concerned. If I look at my sector, which is energy, we find now that we are sure that many of our partners would be very much interested in India as a country and this industry as such. So to that extent, we are very happy with this budget also.
Thank you, sir. So Directors Committee Chairman is obviously happy with the budget.
Sir,
since lot of
No, sir, I cannot go above Girish Ahuja ji. Obviously, when he is saying 9, I have to be below him.
so you have to give 8.
Of course, it can be 8 or 7 also possibly, because we could have expected this time a lot of things to come on. Our members were expecting, because there is a lot of pendency on the appellate side, and there is nothing coming on that. But obviously, when Ahuja sahab said that I will wait to go into the fine print, we should not actually go beyond it. And number 2, I presume that Income Tax Act or the bill which is going to be presented has something much more to come into it, because a lot of issues have not been addressed in this budget. Only it was I would say a flyer, and just coming 50,000 or 100,000 in my pocket, I think so. I'm not happy with particular budget. It may be individually satisfy me, but it may not satisfy the country as a whole probably. I think so. We should wait for a week to come when bill comes.
Thank you. So you are not happy with 10,000 per month. Thank you, audience. A round of applause for the entire panel. The panel was really wonderful to us, and thank you for sparing your valuable time. Although we are little late, and they all stay back and participated in this panel discussion. So over to Madam. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Well, it is with deep appreciation that we thank our distinguished panelists for their insightful contributions to the Union Budget 2025 discussions today. Your perspectives and expertise, I'm sure, has helped us gain a better understanding. And now I would be requesting our moderators, CA Sushil Goyal, sir, and CA Piyush Charger, sir, to kindly present the memento to our esteemed panelists as a token of respect and appreciation. Can we all give a great round of applause as we present it to CA Dr. Girish Ahuja, sir. I now request them to please present it to CA Sumit Sanghai. A great round of applause, please. I now request them to present it to Mr. Vivek Chandrakant Tongaonkar. And now to our final panelist, CA Anuj Mathur. We are once again very grateful for all the time and effort you devoted to sharing your knowledge, which has not only informed but inspired us. Thank you so much. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I request you to please stay back because in another couple of minutes, we'll be starting with our awards ceremony. But before that, I have a very important announcement to make in regards to tomorrow. In the light of the presence of Honorable President, Vice President of India tomorrow as the guest of honor, ICI, there will be certain protocols that need to be maintained. There will be certain items that will not be allowed inside the Brahma Kamal Hall, which is the bags, laptop bags, handbags, purses, your remote car keys, MacBook, and any kind of laptop will not be permitted inside the hall tomorrow. For the convenience of the attendees, ICI has set up the facilitation centers at the cloakroom near the entrance of the registration area of the convention hall and in exhibition hall 1 foyer area. The delegates carrying any of the restricted items may securely deposit them over there, over the designated counters that we've made. And delegates are also requested to not use their mobile phones for taking any selfies and recording inside the Brahma Hall from 5:30 p.m. onwards tomorrow. And also the entry to this hall will be strictly from the ground floor and second floor only. Once again, I would like to repeat the prohibited items tomorrow: bags, laptop bags, handbags, purses, remote car keys, MacBook, and any kind of laptop will not be permitted inside the Brahma Hall, the hall in which you are sitting right now. However, there are 2 designated areas where you can securely deposit them. One is near the registration area of the convention hall, and the second is near the exhibition hall 1 foyer area. In case, because there are a lot of attendees who are not present here, so I request all of you to please pass on this information so that there is lesser inconvenience to all of you. And with that, we have successfully concluded our session.